Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different, a little more personalized, you could say.
Oh,
Yeah, we're diving deep into anti-aging foods. But get this, it's all based on the sources you sent in.
love that. So we're tailoring this exploration to what our listeners are actually curious about.
Exactly. Get ready to rethink some familiar foods like broccoli. Yeah, even broccoli. We're going to uncover some seriously cool stuff about how what you eat can impact how you age.
It's fascinating how much power we actually have over how we age. And one of the biggest factors globally is something we all do every day, eat.
Okay, so let's talk about diet then. I mean, we all know it's important, but how big of a deal is it really when it comes to aging well, I mean?
It's a huge deal. Globally, poor diet is a leading risk factor for premature death, even more so than smoking, which is, pretty shocking when you think about it.
Wow, that's yeah, that really puts things into perspective. No pressure to get this right, right?
Right. But that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. We're taking all this knowledge from those sources you send in and hopefully helping you turn it into action, for your own health. So before we get into the specifics of which foods can slow down aging,
Yeah, before we get into the good stuff, I think it's worth taking a step back. What does a good diet actually look like? Like, what are the non-negotiables for healthy aging?
well, for starters, any good diet needs to help you maintain a healthy body composition. It's not just about eating healthy foods. It's about making sure your overall energy intake is balanced.
So it's not just a free pass to eat endless kale chips, even if they're like organic and all that.
Exactly. Kale chips, smoothies, avocado toast, it all adds up.
Mm.
Alongside that, maintaining muscle mass is key EY as we age.
Okay, so that means adequate protein, right?
Yeah.
And exercise.
You got it. And avoiding those overly restrictive diets, the kind that leave you feeling weak and hangry, those can actually deplete your muscle mass over time.
Got it. So balance is key. And of course, we got to make sure we're getting all those essential nutrients, right?
Absolutely. Prioritizing nutrient-dense foods is crucial. But here's the thing. A good diet shouldn't feel like a chore, right?
Oh, tell me about it. I've tried those super strict diets and they're just not sustainable.
Exactly. Sustainability and affordability, those are huge EE. It has to be something you can stick with long-term, not just a short-term fad.
Makes sense. So it's not just about what you eat, but how you eat it too, like making choices you can actually live with.
And ultimately, all of this, the balance, the nutrients, the sustainability, it should all work together to reduce your risk of the big hitters: cancer, cardiovascular disease, and metabolic diseases.
Okay, so with those principles in mind, let's jump into some specific anti-aging all-stars. And we're going to kick things off with, you guessed it, broccoli.
Uh-huh. Had to, right? It's the poster child for healthy eating.
It is, but is all the hype actually justified? Like, what makes broccoli so special?
It's bursting with nutrients. Vitamins A, C, and K, potassium, iron, calcium, you name it, broccoli's probably got it.
Okay, so more than just a pretty green face, then. But I'm guessing there's more to the story, right?
There is. The real superstars in broccoli are the glucosinolates. These compounds get converted into sulforaphane, which has some pretty incredible anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory properties.
Okay, so sulforaphane is the magic word. How does it actually work? Like, what's it doing in the body to slow down aging?
Well, it works on a cellular level, helping to neutralize those harmful free radicals that damage our cells and contribute to aging. But it goes beyond that. And
Oh.
yeah, sulforaphane actually boosts our body's own detoxification processes. It helps eliminate toxins more efficiently.
Wow, so it's like broccoli is giving our body a little detox boost every time we eat it.
Exactly.
But I've heard there's a trick to getting the most out of broccoli. Something about an enzyme, myrosinase, maybe?
You're right on the money. Myrosinase is the enzyme that converts those glucosinolates into the beneficial sulforaphane. Think of it like a key that unlocks broccoli's full potential.
So how do we make sure we're turning that key?
Well, simply chewing your broccoli well actually helps activate myrosinase. You can also combine broccoli with myrosinase-rich foods, like mustard seeds.
Mustard seeds. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can enhance the conversion process and help your body absorb more sulforaphane. And, believe it or not, cooking methods matter too. Steaming or light stir-frying are better than boiling.
Really? Why is that?
They preserve more of those valuable nutrients.
So those quick microwave broccoli florets might not be cutting it. Interesting. Speaking of getting the most out of our food, how does bioavailability play into all of this?
Bioavailability.
Yeah.
It's basically how much of a nutrient your body can actually absorb and use. Imagine a glass full of water.
Yeah.
could only drink half of it, right?
Yeah.
So you're only getting half the benefit. Same goes for nutrients.
So even if broccoli is packed with nutrients, if our body can't absorb them properly, it's like, what's the point?
Exactly. And this is where things like proper cooking methods and combining foods strategically come in. We're basically optimizing our broccoli intake.
Makes sense. It's like hacking the system to get the most out of our food. Okay, I want to shift gears a bit now and talk about a true Mediterranean staple, extra virgin olive oil, or EVOO, as I like to call it.
Love it. EVOO is, well, it's kind of a legend in the anti-aging world.
It is, but I feel like I already use a good amount of it in my cooking. What makes it such an anti-aging superstar? Beyond just being delicious, I mean.
But EVOO is well known for its heart-healthy benefits, thanks to those monounsaturated fats.
Right, right. Good fats. But I'm sensing there's more to this story.
There is. Emerging research suggests that combining EVOO with resveratrol, a compound found in grapes and red wine, creates a powerful synergy, especially when it comes to fighting aging.
Wait, so it's like a power couple of the anti-aging world, EVOO and resveratrol.
Exactly, like a dynamic duo.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how they work together.
First off, EVOO enhances the bioavailability of resveratrol, so your body can actually absorb and utilize it more effectively.
So it's like EVOO is helping resveratrol do its job even better.
Precisely. And they both activate pathways like SIRT1, which is linked to longevity and cellular health.
So they're like teammates boosting each other's performance. I like it. But you also mentioned something about genomic stability. Now, that sounds pretty intense. What does that even mean? And how do EVOO and resveratrol play a role?
Right. So think of our DNA as, well, it's constantly under attack, right? From things like environmental toxins, the natural process of aging, you name it. And this can lead to instability in our genes, which ultimately means damage and disease.
So EVOO and resveratrol are like bodyguards for our DNA.
That's a great way to put it. They help protect our DNA from damage and maintain its stability, which is crucial for healthy aging. One way they do this is by blocking something called line 1 retrotransposons.
Line one, what now?
Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know. Imagine our DNA as a well-organized library, okay? Each gene has its specific place. Line 1 retrotransposons are like little pieces of DNA that can jump around in that library.
Oh, I see. Causing trouble.
Exactly. They can disrupt the order and potentially cause chaos.
So EVOO and resveratrol help keep those jumping genes in check.
Precisely. They help maintain the stability of our DNA library, which is, key for healthy aging.
This is fascinating stuff. So for someone looking to incorporate this dynamic duo into their diet, what would you recommend?
Aim for about 30 milliliters of EVO daily. That's about 3 tablespoons. For resveratrol, supplementation is usually the most reliable way to get a consistent dose. Most studies use around 500 milligrams per day.
And of course, always talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements. Okay, I'm ready to move on to something a little sweeter now. Berries. I have to admit, I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I'm all ears when it comes to these little guys. I can definitely relate to that. Berries are like nature's candy, but what makes them so special when it comes to anti-aging?
Well, they're nutritional powerhouses, for one, especially when it comes to polyphenols.
Polyphenols. Remind me what those are again?
Think of them as potent antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. They help protect our cells from damage.
Okay, so they're fighting those pesky free radicals we talked about earlier. But are all berries created equal in the anti-aging department? Or do some stand out more than others?
They each have their own unique strengths, for sure. Blueberries, for instance, are loaded with pterostilbin and resveratrol.
Resveratrol. We just talked about that with EVOO.
Exactly. It pops up everywhere when you're talking about anti-aging. And in blueberries, it works wonders, especially in the hippocampus, a key area of the brain for memory.
So blueberries are good for the brain. Got it. What about pterostilbene? What does that do?
Well, it helps reduce inflammation in the hippocampus, which is a big deal because that inflammation can contribute to age-related decline.
Okay, so blueberries are like a brain-boosting powerhouse. What about other berries? Do they have any unique talents?
Absolutely. Strawberries are super rich in vitamin C and a polyphenol called fisetin.
Fisetin. Okay, I'm taking notes.
Fisetin is showing some real promise in cancer research. Studies suggest it might help slow the growth of certain cancer cells.
Wow, really? So strawberries could potentially help with cancer prevention.
That's what the research is suggesting. It's still early days, but it's definitely exciting. Strawberries have also been linked to better lipid profiles and reduced inflammation.
Right, right. All good things. Okay, so we've got blueberries for the brain, strawberries for fighting inflammation. What about raspberries? Where do they fit in?
Raspberries are all about ellagic acid.
Ellagic acid, another new one for me.
It's a fascinating compound. It seems to benefit our metabolism, helping our bodies process sugars more efficiently.
Okay, so raspberries are like a metabolic tune-up? Interesting.
Uh,
Anything else?
oh, and they're a fantastic source of soluble fiber, which we'll talk more about later. But yeah, raspberries are definitely helping keep things running smoothly.
Got it. So blueberries for the brain, strawberries for inflammation, raspberries for metabolism. And what about cherries? What's their superpower?
Cherries are unique for their melatonin content,
Melatonin, the sleep hormone.
the one and only. As we age, our melatonin production naturally declines, makes it harder to get a good night's sleep.
Ah, so cherries could be a natural way to combat those age-related sleep struggles. That's really interesting. It seems like all berries share this incredible anti-inflammatory and antioxidant power. For someone looking to incorporate more berries into their diet, how much would you recommend?
Aim for at least 50 grams daily. That's a good starting point. And you can mix and match. Blueberries one day, strawberries the next, whatever you like.
And what about frozen berries? Are those just as good?
Absolutely. Frozen berries retain their nutrients, and they're often more budget-friendly.
That's a great point. Plus, you can easily toss them into smoothies or yogurt. Speaking of creamy and delicious, let's move on to avocado. You earlier called it EVO in solid form. I love that analogy. Why is avocado so good for us as we age?
Well, just like EVOO, avocados are loaded with those healthy monounsaturated fats. They're particularly high in oleic acid, which has been linked to all sorts of benefits.
Right, right. Good fats for the win. But I'm guessing avocados bring more to the table than just healthy fats.
You bet. They also boast an impressive amount of potassium, even more than bananas.
No way, really? I did not know that. I knew they were good for you, but I didn't realize they were such a potassium powerhouse. What role does potassium play in healthy aging, by the way?
Potassium is often overlooked, but it's essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure, which is crucial as we age. It also plays a role in muscle function and nerve signaling, helps keep our bodies running smoothly.
So avocados are like a triple threat: healthy fats, potassium, and fiber. It's amazing how much goodness is packed into one fruit. What does the research say about the benefits of eating avocados regularly?
There's some fascinating stuff out there. One area where avocados really shine is their ability to improve the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients from other foods.
Wow, that's amazing. So they're not just good on their own, they're making our other healthy choices even better. I
Yeah.
love that. What else has the research shown?
Well, studies have also found that avocados can help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, similar to EVOO, actually. They also contribute to healthy cholesterol levels and help with weight management.
Weight management, how so?
They're very satiating. That feeling of fullness you get after eating avocado, that's partly due to the fiber content.
It all makes sense now. It's like nature's perfect package. Delicious, versatile, and packed with health benefits. What's your go-to way to enjoy avocado?
Aim for about half an avocado daily. You can add it to salads, toast, or even enjoy it on its own with a sprinkle of salt and pepper.
Simple and delicious. Okay, let's switch gears now and talk about another brain-boosting food. Walnuts. They're my go-to snack, but what makes them stand out from other nuts when it comes to anti-aging?
Walnuts are true nutritional powerhouses. Their unique profile makes them a real champion of healthy aging. One thing that sets them apart is their concentration of ALA omega-3 fatty acids.
I've heard so much about omega-3s being good for the brain, but can you break it down for me? How do they actually contribute to healthy aging?
Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain health and have been linked to a lower risk of cognitive decline. They help reduce inflammation in the brain and support the communication between brain cells.
So walnuts are like fuel for our brains. Got it. That's awesome. Is there any research that backs up these claims about walnuts and brain health?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a landmark clinical trial called the Pre-DIME study that confirmed the benefits of walnuts. It showed that incorporating walnuts into the diet can significantly reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease.
Wow, so they're good for the heart and the brain. A true win-win. How many walnuts should we be aiming for each day to reap those benefits?
About 30 grams daily, or roughly 7 to 8 walnuts, is a good target.
Okay, that seems manageable. Now let's move on to something we can sip on for a healthy boost. Green tea. I've always heard it's packed with antioxidants, but what makes green tea such a potent anti-aging beverage?
Green tea is revered for its antioxidant properties. And a key player in that is a compound called EGCG. It stands for epigallocatechin 3-gallate. Bit of a mouthful, I know, but it's the superstar behind many of green tea's benefits.
Okay, so EGCG is the one to remember. What exactly does EGCG do in the body that makes it so beneficial for aging?
Well, it's a potent antioxidant that helps protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Okay, so it's like a shield against cellular damage. Got it. Are there any other benefits of EGCG worth highlighting?
Oh, tons. EGCG is a multitasker. Studies have shown that it might boost metabolism and fat oxidation, enhance cardiovascular health, and support cognitive function.
Wow, it sounds like a superhero for ourselves.
No.
Any tips on how to maximize the benefits of green tea?
Aim for 2 to 3 cups per day. Ideally, enjoy it between meals to avoid any interference with nutrient absorption from your food. And when brewing, steep it for 3 to 4 minutes in water heated to about 80 degrees Celsius. Avoid boiling water as it can damage some of those delicate compounds.
Got it. So not too hot, not too long. And no milk, right? I've heard that can interfere with absorption as well.
You got it. Milk can actually bind to some of those beneficial antioxidants, making them less available to your body. Now let's move on to what I like to call the unsung hero of nutrition, fiber. We've touched on it briefly with raspberries and avocados, but it deserves its own spotlight.
I think when a lot of people hear fiber, they just think about, regularity, but it sounds like it's doing so much more than that.
You're absolutely right. Fiber is crucial for so many aspects of health, especially as we age. There was this massive study, actually, that analyzed data from over 4,600 adults, and they found that those who ate more fiber had a 15 to 30% lower risk of death from all causes.
Wait, 15 to 30%? That's huge.
It is, including heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, even some types of cancer.
Wow. I'm honestly surprised that fiber alone could have that much of an impact. What were the researchers' biggest takeaways from that study?
Well, they were really struck by how fiber seemed to impact so many different systems in the body. And it all comes down to how it interacts with our digestive system. Our bodies can't actually digest fiber, but that doesn't mean it's useless.
Okay, so it's like a VIP guest in our digestive system, getting things moving and shaking without actually being digested itself.
Exactly. I like that analogy.
So can you break down some of those benefits for us? Like, how does fiber work its magic?
Absolutely. First off, fiber is amazing for satiety.
Meaning it helps you feel full?
Exactly. It adds bulk to our food, which helps us feel fuller for longer. But it also stimulates the production of certain hormones, like GLP-1, which sends a signal to our brain telling us we're satisfied.
So it's not just a physical feeling of fullness, it's actually impacting our hormones and how our brain perceives hunger.
Exactly. It's a pretty complex process, but fiber plays a key role.
Wow, that's fascinating. What else is fiber doing behind the scenes?
It's a master of blood sugar control, too.
Oh, really? How so?
It slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, which helps prevent those drastic spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels.
Okay, so that's huge for anyone concerned about managing their blood sugar levels and preventing insulin resistance, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. Does fiber have an impact on cholesterol and blood pressure as well?
It does. Fiber can bind to cholesterol in the gut, preventing it from being absorbed into the bloodstream. And it also helps improve blood vessel function, which can contribute to lower blood pressure.
So it's a multi-pronged approach to heart health. Love it. Now, I know we've talked about gut health before on the show, but I'm curious to hear more about fiber's role in all of that. I've heard it referred to as food for our gut bacteria. What does that mean?
That's a great way to put it. Fiber acts as a prebiotic, meaning it feeds the beneficial bacteria in our gut.
And why are those good bacteria so important?
They're crucial for a healthy gut microbiome.
Yeah.
And that's linked to everything from digestion and immunity to mental health and even how we age.
So, by feeding the good guys in our gut, fiber is indirectly helping us in countless ways. That's amazing. And what about its role in protecting against colorectal cancer? We touched on that earlier.
Right. Fiber plays a key role there as well. It has what's called a sweeping effect in the digestive tract.
Sweeping effect. What does that mean?
Basically, it helps move things along. It eliminates toxins and waste products more efficiently, reducing their contact time with the colon lining.
Okay, so less time for those toxins to cause trouble.
Exactly. And that can help protect against the development of polyps and potentially cancerous cells.
It's incredible how one nutrient can have such a profound impact on so many aspects of our health. So, given all these benefits, how much fiber should we be aiming for each day?
The study we mentioned earlier found that the sweet spot seems to be around 25 to 29 grams daily. But they also noticed that even higher intakes could offer even more protection. I'd recommend aiming for at least 30 grams per day for optimal health.
30 grams, okay. And how does that compare to what our ancestors used to eat? Weren't they getting way more fiber than we are today?
Oh, absolutely. I read somewhere that hunter-gatherer populations like the Hadza eat over 60 grams of fiber daily.
Wow. That puts things into perspective, doesn't it? It seems like our modern diets, with all the processed foods, have really reduced our fiber intake.
For sure. We've moved so far away from those fiber-rich whole foods that our ancestors thrived on.
So, for someone listening who's thinking, okay, I need more fiber in my life, what are some simple ways to incorporate more of it into their diet?
The key is to focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Those are all packed with fiber. A medium apple, for instance, has about 5 grams of fiber. 100 grams of cooked sweet potato has about 3, and 100 grams of cooked chickpeas contain around 12.
Those are great examples. It makes it easier to visualize how to reach that 30-gram goal. Any other tips?
One thing to keep in mind is that it's important to increase your fiber intake gradually. If you go from 0 to 60 overnight, you might experience some digestive discomfort, bloating, gas, that kind of thing.
That's a great reminder. It's about making sustainable changes, not shocking our systems.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today, from broccoli to berries to the amazing power of fiber. I feel inspired to stock my fridge with all these anti-aging superstars.
Me too.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing to realize how much control we have over our health just by making different choices about food.
absolutely. And I think it's worth highlighting that this entire deep dive was tailored specifically to our listeners based on the information you all sent in. It's all about making these insights work for your individual needs and preferences.
Exactly. This isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about exploring, experimenting, and finding what works best for you.
Well said. As we wrap up our deep dive today, is there a final thought-provoking question or challenge you'd like to leave our listeners with?
How about this? How could you incorporate more of these beneficial foods into your daily routine? Could you swap out one processed snack for a handful of berries? Could you try adding more fiber to your meals this week?
I love those questions. It's all about those small, sustainable changes that add up over time.
Exactly. Every step you take towards a healthier diet is a step towards a healthier, more vibrant you.
I love that. It's so empowering. And remember, if you have any questions or just want to share your own experiences with incorporating these anti-aging superstars into your diet, we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Keep those questions coming.
And for now, thanks for joining us on the deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring the world of anti-aging foods with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
Until next time, stay curious and keep on learning.
And keep eating those anti-aging superstars.